So whenever I'm trying to figure out which Marvel or DC character that I want to talk about in a video, I usually get on YouTube and I do a search to see how many other videos are out there about said character. And if I see more than 3 or 4 of them, I find a new character. Because I don't really see any point in talking about characters that everybody else is already talking about. I don't want to repeat what everybody else has already said to you, so there's no point in covering characters like Franklin Richards or the Silver Surfer or anybody like that. So I like to stick with just the obscure characters nobody ever talks about. So when I was looking earlier today trying to find some new characters that I could make videos about, I stumbled across an entire universe that I had never heard of, and that is Earth 9047, also known as the Humorverse, which is a parody universe full of parody characters. 42 of them actually. There's 42 characters that we've seen in that universe so far. They're all extremely obscure. I can't find any videos anywhere about any of them, so I decided that over the course of the next few weeks, I'm going to be introducing you guys to every single character in this universe. Now, to kick things off, we are going to be talking about, in this video, we're going to be talking about a character named Chair. So Chair is a member of a superhero team called the Eccentrics, which is led by Crowbar. To his teammates and his enemies alike, he is the most well-respected and feared member of the group, and his teammate, Bucket, says that he's worried about the fateful day when he loses control and the monster within him comes out and kills everybody or destroys everybody and everything. With his enemy Genepool saying that he is the most formidable member of the group and the finest fighter on 4 legs. We really don't know anything about his past, so I guess we can talk about his powers from now on. Now, typically though, whenever we're trying to gauge the powers of a character in a series, we look at feats and statements when necessary. But Chair has only been in one issue, so he's severely lacking in feats and statements, so we don't have much to work with. But the first thing that we do though, the first thing that we see is the Eccentrics training, and we see Chair dodging a couple of missiles. And so this, I guess, is a good reason to believe that he at least has superhuman speed, or maybe not. Who knows? But he's only been in 2 fights. The first fight that he was in took place in a convenience store when Crowbar realized that his favorite candy bar was sold out. And since he's paranoid, he thought this was evidence of the humans trying to hunt them down and kill them. So before the man behind the counter could do anything, he yelled to Chair that it was time for Maneuver 88, and then picked up Chair and threw him at the guy behind the counter. And when the cops came, they all ran and jumped in the truck and drove away. Now, as Crowbar was bragging about how they have never lost a member of the group, Chair fell out of the back of the truck. Now, the second fight that he was involved in happened at the Eccentrics headquarters. Basically, though, after he had fell out of the back of the truck, everybody was sitting around talking, wondering where he was, when there was a knock on the door. They were hoping that it was Chair, but it wasn't. In fact, it was a group of villains led by Genepool. Now the villains were winning the fight, so Bucket was like, "Oh, I wish Chair would return. He's the only one that can save us now." And then all of a sudden, Chair comes flying into the scene and lands, and he's in a new costume for some reason. But his appearance turns the tide of the fight, and Crowbar is able to pick him up and use him as a weapon to drive off the invaders. And everybody's curious though about his new costume, and Bucket even notes that he seems more distant than usual, and that it seems like he must have gone through some traumatic experience. But things aren't that simple. Actually, the Chair that showed up wasn't the real Chair. See, what happened is that when he fell to the back of the truck, he was kidnapped or captured by Fred, who is Crowbar's evil twin cousin, and his headquarters, or his secret lair, would just happen to be in the basement of the Eccentrics headquarters. And so when the fight broke out between Genepool and the Eccentrics, he threw in an imposter or a copycat version of Chair to save the day, while the real Chair was actually in the basement chained to a wall. Now, the only real issue that we have though with determining how powerful he actually is though is the simple fact that, well, I mean, his name is Chair for a reason. He's a chair. He's not a sentient chair. It's not a chair with a brain, or it's not a chair that can think. It can't talk, it can't move on its own accord, it has no muscles. It is literally just a wooden chair. Yet somehow this simple wooden chair managed to become the most feared, or one of the most feared and most powerful beings in the entirety of Earth 9047, which makes no sense. But it's a parody, I guess, so whatever. But yeah, I mean, that's all I've got for this video, though. If you've made it this far, I apologize for wasting your time. I know this is a stupid video, but if it's not too much to ask, hitting that like button would be greatly appreciated. And also, we've got more videos on the way. So if you don't want to miss those, you might want to go ahead and subscribe, hit the notifications button. The next Earth 9047 video that I'm going to be doing is going to be about the X people, the X persons actually. So you might not want to miss that one. But with all of that being said, though, I will see you guys next time.